It is late at night, almost 11 o'clock. You are in bed, but you are not sleeping. You are scrolling through your email on your phone the way you do when your brain will not stop, and then you see it. Sender: Internal Revenue Service. Subject: Notice CP2000. Changes to your tax return. You sit up, you open it. The number at the top of the screen, the amount they say you owe, is larger than your monthly rent. Your stomach drops. You filed your taxes, you reported your income, you did not hide anything. You used a tax preparer just like every year. And now the IRS is saying there is income on your return that does not match what was reported to them by someone else. One line, one number, one detail that did not line up. And now they want that money plus interest plus a potential penalty. You do not know if this is a real bill or a scam. You do not know if ignoring it makes it worse. You do not know if responding the wrong way triggers something bigger. Most people in this situation make one of three mistakes that turn a fixable problem into a serious one. What a tax attorney charges $300 per hour to walk you through is sitting right here in this video. Stay with me. I am Jacob, and I went through the official IRS documentation, the Internal Revenue Code, and the Taxpayer Bill of Rights specifically on income discrepancy reviews and CP2000 notices. Everything here comes directly from irs.gov and federal tax law. Before we go through this, IRS procedures and tax rules affecting immigrants and seniors are shifting right now. The IRS does not warn you personally when a new matching program flags accounts like yours. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that updates reach you before they reach your mailbox. And join our WhatsApp community, the link is in the description, where we share confirmed tax and benefits updates the moment they are verified. Now let me show you exactly what is happening and exactly what your rights are. Here is what is actually confirmed under federal law. When the IRS receives income information from employers, banks, investment platforms, payment apps, and government agencies, it runs that information against what you reported on your tax return. This process is called the Automated Underreporter Program, documented under IRS Publication 1 and IRS Notice CP2000 procedures. When there is a mismatch, even a small one, the IRS generates a notice. That notice is not a bill. That notice is not a final assessment. That notice is a proposed change that you have the legal right to agree with, disagree with, or partially dispute. Here is what is being shared in community groups right now that is not accurate. There are messages circulating saying that if you receive any letter from the IRS in 2026, it means you are being audited and immigration authorities have been notified. Both of those claims are false. A CP2000 notice is a correspondence review. It is not a full audit under IRC Section 7605, and the IRS does not share routine tax notices with immigration enforcement agencies for the purpose of status action. Confusing those two things and acting out of panic is exactly how a manageable tax issue becomes something much harder to resolve. Now let me break down your rights in this situation one by one. The first right is your right to respond and dispute the proposed change before it becomes final. Under the Taxpayer Bill of Rights, specifically the right to challenge the IRS's position, codified in IRC Section 7803A3, every taxpayer has the right to raise objections and provide additional documentation in response to any proposed IRS change. A CP2000 notice gives you a specific response deadline, usually 60 days from the date printed at the top of the notice. That deadline is real and it matters. But here is what most people do not know. That notice is a proposal. It is not a final bill. You are not legally obligated to pay it the day it arrives. You are legally entitled to respond to it. What you say when you call the IRS number printed on your notice is exactly this: I am calling regarding notice CP2000. My taxpayer identification number is your number. I am within the response window and I want to understand the specific income item that triggered this notice before I submit my response. Say that. Nothing more. Do not say, I do not know what this income is. Do not say my tax preparer made a mistake. Do not volunteer explanations you have not verified yet. Every word you say to an IRS agent is documentable. Short, specific, and factual only. Tax attorneys charge $300 per hour to coach clients through exactly this call. You now have the same preparation, but the right to dispute is only the first protection you have. The second right is your right to know exactly which income item triggered the review. The IRS is required under its own disclosure procedures to identify in the CP2000 notice the specific payer, the specific form, such as a 1099 or a W-2, and the specific amount that does not match your return. You do not have to guess. You do not have to search your records blindly. The notice itself must tell you where the discrepancy came from. When you receive the notice, find the section titled Proposed Changes. It will list the income source, the amount the IRS received from that source, and the amount you reported. If those two numbers are different, that is the item triggering the review. This is especially important for immigrants and seniors who may receive income from multiple sources: a part-time job, a small pension from another country, payments from a family member classified incorrectly, money received through a payment app like Zelle or Venmo that crossed a new reporting threshold. Starting in tax year 2024, third-party payment platforms are required under the American Rescue Plan Act to issue 1099-K forms for transactions over $600 total per year. Many people received income through these apps and did not know it would be reported to the IRS. If that is the source of your mismatch, it is fixable, but only if you respond. Consider what happens when someone does not respond. A person receives a CP 2000 notice and sets it aside because they are afraid and do not know what to do. The 60-day response window closes. The IRS converts the proposed change into a formal assessment under IRC Section 6213. Now the amount is legally owed. Penalties and interest begin accumulating from the original due date. What started as a proposed adjustment becomes a tax debt that affects refunds, can result in a lien, and is significantly harder to dispute after the assessment is finalized. That outcome was completely avoidable. The third right is your right to submit documentation that explains or corrects the discrepancy. If the income the IRS flagged was already included in your return but reported differently, for example, reported under a different category or offset by an expense you deducted, you can submit documentation showing that. If the income was incorrectly reported by the payer, meaning the 1099 or W-2 they sent the IRS had an error, you can contact that payer, request a corrected form, and submit the corrected form with your response. If the income is not yours at all, meaning someone used your social security number to report income, that is an identity issue, and the IRS has a specific resolution process for it through the Identity Protection Specialized Unit. The exact words to write in your written response to the IRS are these: I am writing in response to Notice CP 2000 dated the date on your notice. I disagree with the proposed change for the following reason. Then state your specific reason clearly and attach your supporting documents. Keep a copy of everything you send. If you mail your response, use certified mail with return receipt so you have proof of delivery and the date it was received. The fourth right is your right to a payment plan if you do agree with the amount but cannot pay it all at once. Under IRC Section 61529 and IRS Online Payment Agreement Procedures at irs.gov OPA, taxpayers who owe money to the IRS have the legal right to request an installment agreement. You do not have to pay a lump sum to resolve a tax debt. You can apply online at irs.gov for a payment plan. Monthly payment amounts are based on what you can realistically afford. Applying for a payment plan also stops certain collection actions from escalating while the agreement is active. Never say to the IRS, I cannot pay anything. That phrase triggers a different category of collection process. Instead say, I am requesting an installment agreement under IRC Section 6159. I would like to discuss a monthly payment arrangement. That positions you as a cooperative taxpayer seeking a legal resolution, which is exactly what you are. The fifth right is your right to free taxpayer advocacy if the IRS process is causing you a serious hardship. The Taxpayer Advocate Service, established under IRC Section 7803, is an independent organization inside the IRS that exists specifically to help taxpayers who are facing significant hardship because of IRS actions. If an IRS notice is threatening your ability to pay rent, buy food, or cover medical expenses, or if the IRS has not responded to your inquiry within a reasonable time, you can contact the Taxpayer Advocate Service at 1-877-717-4778 or at taxpayeradvocate.irs.gov. This service is free, it is independent, and it carries real weight inside the IRS system. Here is your exact step-by-step plan. Save this video or write this down right now. Step 1. The day you receive any IRS notice, find the response deadline printed at the top. Mark it immediately. Set a reminder 1 week before that date. Missing the deadline turns a proposal into a final assessment. Step 2. Read the proposed changes section of the notice carefully. Identify the specific payer, the form type, and the income amount the IRS received. Write it down. Step 3. Compare that amount to your own tax return and your own records. Do you see that income somewhere on your return? Was it reported under a different line? Was it offset by an expense? Was it never yours to begin with? Step 4. Call the IRS number on your notice and say exactly this. I am calling regarding Notice CP 2000. My taxpayer identification number is your number. I am within the response window and I want to confirm the specific income item that triggered this notice before I submit my written response. Step 5. Write your response before the deadline. If you agree, say so and include payment or a payment plan request. If you disagree, state the specific reason and attach supporting documents. Mail it certified with return receipt. Step 6. If the amount is creating a genuine financial hardship, contact the Taxpayer Advocate Service at 1-877-777-4778 and say, I am experiencing a significant hardship related to an IRS notice, and I am requesting taxpayer advocate assistance. Here are the free resources that support everything in this video. IRS Mainline, 1-800-829-1040 or irs.gov. To understand your CP 2000 notice specifically, irs.gov CP 2000. For online payment plans, irs.gov OPA. For the Taxpayer Advocate Service, taxpayeradvocate.irs.gov or 1-877-777-4778. For free tax help for seniors and low-income filers, irs.gov VITA. For IRS publications in multiple languages, irs.gov FormSpubs. One important warning before I close. There are people right now calling and texting immigrants and seniors claiming to be from the IRS and demanding immediate payment by gift card, wire transfer, or cryptocurrency. The IRS does not call you without first mailing you a notice. The IRS does not demand payment by gift card under any circumstance. The IRS does not threaten immediate arrest over the phone. If you receive a call like that, hang up. It is a scam. Report it at reportfraud.ftc.gov. Also be cautious of paid tax resolution companies that charge large upfront fees and promise to settle your debt for pennies on the dollar. Free help is available through the Taxpayer Advocate Service and VITA. Use those first. Now I want to hear from you. Have you received a notice from the IRS this year? Did you know you had the right to dispute it before paying? Drop your question in the comments below. And tell me, which country are you originally from? Which state are you watching from right now? Your question may become the next video on this channel. I am Jacob. You have rights in this country. Knowing them is not defiance, it is protection. Take care of yourself.